Disappointment. The fact that the team will be focused on by the MCU's biggest releases ever is exciting for the chances of a Thunderbolts sequel to happen. Through the Avengers movies, which have all grossed over $1 billion worldwide, the new Avengers could get a meaningful popularity boost, leading to more fans tuning in for a possible sequel than the number of viewers that showed up for Thunderbolts. Marvel has big plans for the team. Most sequels for characters in the MCU have managed to outgross the total box office of the first film in the franchise. That can happen in more contained amounts, like Iron Man 2 making $37 million more than Robert Downey Jr.'s first Iron Man movie, or have a larger difference, such as Chris Evans' Captain America, the Winter Soldier standing $344 million above Captain America, the first Avenger. In Evans' case, his sequel was helped by Steve Rogers' prominent role in the MCU's first crossover film, 2012's The Avengers. I'm fully convinced that Thunderbolts could follow a similar path to Captain America. The team was made up of obscure characters, and Marvel chose not to market the film with the new Avengers title until after it was out. As such, I'm not completely surprised by its box office run. However, with a sequel that banks on the characters' renewed popularity after the upcoming Avengers movies and confidently calls the team the new Avengers from the start, the Thunderbolts franchise could be turned around. Based on those factors, I think Marvel will give a Thunderbolts sequel should still add a few more millions to its box office run. The movie will likely fall short of reaching the last milestone it could, the $400 million mark. Those calculations come from Twitter, where box office analyst Luis Fernando revealed that Thunderbolts is projected to end its global run in the $380 million to $390 million range. Based on that projection, Thunderbolts could still surpass Black Widow's $379.8 million total, but the MCU movie should end below Captain America: Brave New World despite generating more positive chatter than the MCU's first 2025 movie, which is surprising. While Thunderbolts is not going to be considered a box office hit with what it is projected to end its global run with, I believe Marvel Studios could still take some positives from the film's performance. Based on the latest MCU movie's projected finish in the $380 million to $390 million range, Thunderbolts could even turn a small profit. Thunderbolts had a reported budget of $180 million, which is not as high a price tag as other superhero movies have had in the past, though it is not exactly small either. Still, that gives the film some wiggle room. In Hollywood, the rule of thumb when looking for a film's break-even point is to multiply its budget, landing somewhere in the range of 2 times to 2.5 times its budget. Based on that, Thunderbolts' break-even point lies in the $360 negative $450 million range. As such, with its current final projections, if the film's break-even point is on the lower side of the range, Thunderbolts could end its box office run with no losses for Marvel. With toy sales, digital, home entertainment, and more, Thunderbolts could make back its marketing and production costs and lead to a small profit box office being near its break-even point and likely able to recoup costs and turn a small profit with ancillary revenues, is a good sign that Marvel could take a chance on a sequel. However, the most important aspect of the team that makes me believe a sequel could be in the works comes from a story standpoint. Thunderbolts' ending brought along a huge status change for the team. After they saved New York City and the whole world saw it, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine introduced the team as the MCU's new Avengers. I think they earned it, as the film was about these characters bonding and becoming a family, while using one another to work through personal trauma and truly become heroes. The ideal version of that is through the Thunderbolts becoming the biggest superhero team in universe, beloved by everyone. Then came Thunderbolts' post-credit scene, which had a time jump of over a year to show the characters being more comfortable in their new role and operating out of the MCU's original Avengers Tower, which is now owned by Val, who is under their thumb. The new Avengers are confirmed to play a key role in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. While Thunderbolts might have been a box could still have a sequel in the future, even though the Marvel Cinematic Universe's latest movie's box office performance is disappointing due to some recent updates. I did not expect to like Thunderbolts as much as I did. The movie put together players from all over the franchise, and Thunderbolts' star-studded cast had great chemistry, which helped the movie become the MCU team film that I had long wanted to see during the multiverse saga. Thunderbolts does a phenomenal job of introducing a new team to the franchise, making the audience care for more obscure characters. Sadly, while the response to Thunderbolts has been positive from critics and the audience alike, that has not translated into a healthy box office. According to the specialized box office tracking website, Box Office Mojo, Thunderbolts' global theatrical run currently stands at $371.1 million. While I believe Thunderbolts deserves to be considered one of the MCU's best movies, its box office performance puts it near the bottom of the franchise. However, I still believe that an MCU Thunderbolts sequel could happen despite its negative box office after contemplating a few key factors. Before getting into why a Thunderbolts sequel might still be possible, it is important to fully understand what Thunderbolts box office means. The film is currently the fourth lowest-grossing movie in the MCU. At $371.1 million, Thunderbolts has the Marvel's $199.7 million. The Incredible Hulk is $265.60, and Captain America, the first Avengers, $370.6 million surface totals. However, the MCU movie is not projected to climb much higher on the franchise's box office leaderboard, as Thunderbolts is already running out of steam. Hit movies like Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, and the live-action Lilo and Stitch present fierce competition.